finally time for another video. Been a long time, huh? Truth be told, there's just some things going on that got me kind of preoccupied with some other things, some family stuff. So my free time has become more valuable than ever, so that when I get a few minutes to do something, I haven't been able to record it because it's just, I only get like an hour here and there, just, time's tight. But I have been able to get out and do some stuff when I can. So the last video you saw would likely have been, I made 3 test passes after just getting this thing kind of up and running. And then I wanted to go test one more time after that because there was a race coming up. I never made it out. So I went from making 3 test passes right to entering the first race of the year for me. And while I didn't make it past first round, still learned some stuff. So there's just a lot going on at the time with getting this thing dialed in, because just everything's different about everything from, I don't even know what RPM this thing wants to run at, shift point wise, two-step wise. I don't know where I need to be leaving for boost wise. It just makes power and everything totally different from the 1K stuff I was really used to, beating on. But bottom line is, it's working. I'm gaining ground here. It's fun again, let me tell you. This video is going to cut to the footage I have from, I've been out, 3 times now since I've recorded the last video. So I made it to the race. We had two test passes, 2 shakedown passes, and then the mosquitoes are terrible right now. If you've been, following along, I'm not too far from Milwaukee in Wisconsin here. And 2 weeks ago, we got nailed with some massive flooding, like bad. And I made it out pretty good, but it also created a havoc with mosquitoes hatching. So if you see me swatting away, it's because they are relentless right now. Anyways, I have footage from the first race I went to of the year. I went testing 3 Thursdays ago, and we were just back testing again this past Friday night, and that was the night I needed. That night, all the little things of, you got 5 things going on at one time that are out in left field, and you try to dial everything in little by little. So you gain a little bit on one thing, and then you can start bringing something else in, and now that one other thing is off a little bit. And Friday night, things progressed rapidly, and I really got a good idea where I'm going to stand, and I'm very happy with it. But I have footage from all that. I didn't record anything as far as narrations or breakdowns or anything. I got footage that people sent me from making the passes. I wasn't recording anything myself, so I'll kind of pop in here and fill you in as to what was going on and kind of do a pass-by-pass recap that I didn't get to do the night of, or the day of that I was testing. So this video is going to be very all over, but there's going to be a lot of, I think, probably good footage in here, and kind of bring you along the way, along on the ride of what I've figured out and deciphered and where we stand. And yeah, I mean, I got a couple 119 60 foots out of it. Went 3.1 to 3.1 to the 330. Yeah, some mid 4-second 1/8 miles. It's just coming around, and I'm not pushing the boost issue on this thing. I am trying to conquer the 330. I want to be getting into the high 2s in the 330 area, and I'm real close. And I don't need max boost that I would be running down track on a 1/4 mile pass to make that happen. A lot of just tune strategy and boost strategy up front is all I'm working on. So I'm only maxing out at 17 pounds of boost right now. And once we get the 330 and stuff, and the 60 foot, I even want to see that drop a little bit more yet. And I think it's there, so I might need to hit it a little harder out of the hole. But like I said, I'll break all this down in the videos and stuff that I'll be putting in here. And yeah, and then at the end, we'll do a little recap. But the bike I haven't touched. It's been on the lift now. It's Sunday. It's been on the lift since I unloaded it Friday night. Still got track dirt all over it. But it has oil pressure. The oil is still clean. It only made 2.5 pounds of crankcase pressure at max boost down track. Yeah, I have a running race bike now to play with. So it's been a long time since I've been able to work on setup and tuning and not just trying to scab a motor together. And I think that's where we're progressing, because Friday night was a new personal best ever for me for I think eighth mile and quarter mile. ET wise, mile per hour was down a little bit in the quarter because I'm not leaning on it boost wise as hard as I was when it was at 1,000. So she wasn't. I mean, it was still up there, but it wasn't personal best mile per hour, but it was a personal best ET. So that kind of tells me where I stand with this thing and how much easier I'm going to be able to progress, as opposed to just sledgehammering the 1,000 over the head to get it to do anything and hope it lived. But let's get into some videos and some racing stuff, and we'll break down pass by pass what I was doing. I'm pretty good at remembering changes and things that was going through my mind as the night went on. But yeah, we'll get into the rest of the video here. Enjoy. So this is the first pass since we were testing, and I was kind of out in left field on the tune-up. Clearly we had a wheelie issue, and most of that was because I didn't double check the two-step, and it made a lot more boost than I was planning on or wanted, and that was just an error on my part. I'm not getting back into the swing of things here. So the second pass here was slightly better. Mostly I got the boost to stabilize. There wasn't as many spikes in the boost on the two-step. I was getting it to spike from between 6 and 10 pounds on that last run. That shouldn't have happened. I should have caught that before I even tried to stage the bike, but live and learn. It was a little better this time, but this is where we realized I got an issue with the shock. This is still set up kind of how I used to run it, as like a no prep bike, and it's clearly making power better and more different than the 1000 did. So third pass here, this was actually first round. I drew one of the fastest bikes that showed up, but I was still trying to learn and figure this thing out. So I was really just kind of concerned about what I was doing. It made a full pass here, but it was definitely underpowered. But something happened at the hit. I moved or whatever, and I lost. I rolled off of full throttle for a second. So you watch the bike, it plants, and it like slowly does a little dance and then takes off. Yeah, and then I just got outran after that, but it didn't want to wheelie or pick up down track. This was after I made a little shock change, and it was definitely better, but we definitely learned a little bit, and this is where we started making some progress. So this was a Thursday night here at my local track. I decided to go solo on this adventure. I had a coworker down there filming, and he doesn't normally do that, so we'll forgive him for the the ability to track me down track. But I originally planned on going, and then I was too tired from work and decided I wasn't going to go. And the last minute, I decided to go, so that kind of screwed my buddies that made other plans to come down with me. They were doing other things. So I decided to shoot down here solo, and this was the first pass off the trailer. It went good, it went quick, but I realized it was pulling a bunch of timing out of it because it was into the pitch control right from the hit. But as you can see, the shock and everything was like working way better. So all in all, a clean pass. We just got to fix a few things in the tune and doctor some stuff up. Well, this was the second pass of the night. This one almost was going to be awesome, but I got the timing stuff fixed from the pitch control. Just sorted out a few things, kind of left the overall boost and rest of the tune alone, and it was happy out of the hole, but it did drive into a wheelie. So it went 119 60 foot on this pass, and then it started to pick the front end up kind of aggressively, and I usually don't let it ride. I chop it pretty quick. So that's what I did here, and then just had to roll it out.
Alright, working his way in. Still getting these rubber down with my tracer.
So this was the last pass of the night. I went back and I put a little timing retard in at the launch, pulling 3 degrees for 2 seconds, and that way I could leave the boost and stuff alone. I find it's easier to adjust timing and it responds faster than boost, so I try to leave the boost alone and monkey with my power control with a little bit of timing, and this worked. And it might have been low on power at the leave, but overall it was a pretty smooth, clean hit. Again, not a bunch of power up top, but I'm watching the shock. I'm watching the 60. This was a 12060, so it was right in the ballpark of the previous pass. And I am not pulling the clutch apart between runs here. I am trying to see how many passes I can get out of these clutches before I got to maintenance them. Because we get into some events here and we get minimal time between rounds. They run us quick. So if I can find a setup that that works and I don't have to dig into the clutch, that's what I'm going to roll with. But yeah, overall, pretty clean pass. So this is the first pass this past Thursday. I made some changes from the last time I was out with the bike and just kind of changed how I approach the boost curve from the launch and how far out I'm carrying a timing retard for the launch retard. And I made another little shock adjustment and just kind of refining some stuff and seeing how the bike wants to respond and know if I'm going in the right direction. And it seemed to like it. And we're still only playing with about 17 pounds of boost up top. But yeah, everything's getting a little bit quicker. This overall was a pretty clean pass. I just need to start putting more power to it. I think this was like a 121 60 foot. So we're not too far off. Eventually, we'll have the mid to upper one teens will kind of be the norm. I just got to see where the bike is happy that I can put that much power to it and not worry about wheeling and whatever else. I have dialed in the wheelie control a lot more sense, so I do not have to chicken wing it when it starts picking the front end up. But yeah, overall, good pass. Pass number 2 wasn't terrible, was not the best, but it's consistently doing stuff now. You'll see about, I don't know, a couple seconds into the run that it kicks the tire for just a second. You'll see I do just a big lift and a chop and get after it again. Other than that, it seemed to be pretty good down track. I think at this point I figured out I needed to change the overall AFR target down track. I think I had to lean it out a little bit. It was getting a little bit kind of running rough. I think it was loading up on fuel. So I might be to the point now where I got to start putting some bigger coils on this bike because I think I was having a problem keeping it lit because all I did was lean out my air fuel target a little bit. And on the next pass, it went much cleaner. It wasn't breaking up. It had, there was no little sputter going on. But yeah, not terrible overall. we'll take it. I was yeah, and I was honestly the only one that wasn't really spinning that night. This wasn't a full prep night, and I was doing pretty good. Well, third pass of the night here, and this was the pass that made the whole night kind of worth it. All the like real minute changes I'm making, just figuring out which direction to go and what it likes, it all kind of came together on this pass. Um, so it ran clean all the way down. It was making a bunch of power. It felt good. It was a 1:20:60 3:1 to the 3:30. I think it was a 4:70 eighth mile, and the rest of it after that was just kind of along for the ride. And it was a good rip. Everything from the shock to the clutch to the tune, everything is just really starting to get kind of dialed in here, and I'm learning a ton of what this motor wants, like what this whole package wants. It's just so different from the 1000 setup, but different in a good way. But yeah, this pass makes nights like this totally worth it. Last pass of the night here. I did get into a little wheelie, but only because I tried to shorten up the ramp by like half a second. I just wanted to bring everything in just a little quicker, and you can see it kind of started to ride it up right up the front tire a little bit. Not terrible. Set it down quick. Made a decent pass after that. No records were set on this one, but just got more data. This is where I learned more about a little bit of the wheelie control settings, and just really getting that refined and seeing what it takes for like uh, ignition retard or spark cut to see how fast it will recover or knock the wheelie down, I should say. And yeah, we're just constantly learning every pass, and this was another one of them. It wasn't the best, but it was the last one for the night, and we still managed to learn some stuff from it. But all in all, I can't be happier with how straight the bike is going now. I spent an entire 2 years almost running with a bike that was going crooked, and that's a story for another day. But um, yeah, all in all, great night. That's kind of the summary there of the last 3 track outings for me. I told you the video was going to be kind of random, but it was the best way I could get you guys all caught up with the limited time that I got. But I'm just thrilled to be out racing again and have a bike that I feel is going to be relatively competitive when I really start putting the power to it. So I'm going to continue to get testing when I can, and we got another race coming up, like early to middle of next month, I think, and we'll get after it and see what we can do then too. So thanks for hanging out and going along for the ride.